Alright, today we're taking a look at Below the Asylum by Awakened Realms. And I have not been this excited for a crowdfunding campaign since Cthulhu Death May Die Forbidden Reaches. I may be even more excited for this one. There is so much going on with this game that is pushing all the right buttons for me. To briefly touch on what we're doing here, this is a series where I cover crowdfunding campaigns that I'm actively backing. I only cover campaigns that I'm actually putting my money behind. I'm not willing to present games to you that I don't fully believe in myself. There is so much FOMO out there already that I do not want to add to the noise. So let's get into it, and welcome to Trehane Miniatures. Below the Asylum is a fully cooperative one-shot action horror experience for 1 to 4 players. You play as elite agents navigating an abandoned asylum split between 2 dimensions, above and below. The modular double-sided map changes with every session, and players must shift between realities to survive. So the game board is divided between 2 mirrored dimensions, above and below. At first glance, this reminds me of Stranger Things with its upside-down dimension. But I don't think that quite captures what's going on here. Agents and monsters can shift between the 2 dimensions. This can occur through strategic choice, or it can be an unwanted repercussion of gaining shimmer, which is the game's corrupting force. While the room layouts are the same in both dimensions, each side has different threats, item placements, and doorways. What's blocked in one world might be accessible in the other. This sounds like a pathway to a very interesting puzzle-solving mechanism. For me, the comparisons to Stranger Things falls apart here. This reminds me much more of one of my favorite video games of all time, Soul Reaver. In Soul Reaver, you play as Raziel, and you need to switch between the physical realm and the spectral realm in order to solve puzzles and accomplish tasks. I'm hoping that there is at least a glimmer of that excitement in the Asylum. Generally speaking, once you've entered the Asylum, your mission is to complete tasks to power up your agent and perform dark rituals in an attempt to seal the Monarch, a monstrous being from below. Then, once you've stopped the rise of the Monarch, you must escape the Asylum or some other location before the shimmer consumes you. The characters that players control are very asymmetric, so cooperation will be the key to success. Each agent brings an entirely different playstyle to the team, unique abilities, upgrade trees, and mechanical gimmicks. Whether you're commanding a swarm of cats, managing your inner craving for destruction, or bending the laws of space, each character is designed to feel distinct and thematically aligned with the creeping horror around them. And honestly, who doesn't love asymmetric player powers? Not only does it encourage cooperation by having each player focus on their strengths to accomplish tasks, but it also guarantees replayability, as I'm sure that I'm going to want to try out each agent for myself. All of this talk, and I haven't even touched on the one thing that has me the most excited about this game, and it's this guy, right here, the designer. Thomas Holik has become quite the prolific game designer in the last year, designing and releasing 3 well-received and mechanically rich Euro-style board games. I cannot wait to see what his design style brings to the survival horror genre. His game design fits perfectly with how I like to play games. I really am a Eurogamer at heart, but I also love theme, especially thematic survival horror. This game could be the perfect mix of gameplay and theme for me. And while Holik's Eurogames can appear a little overwhelming and complex, I'm sure that his co-designer will rein that in and ensure a thematically rich and tactically rewarding gameplay experience. At least that's what I'm hoping for. And in case you weren't aware, the co-designer of Below the Asylum is Michael Locke, who is credited as the designer for Nemesis Retaliation. I think that this is a pretty cool combination of talent. Taking a look at what's on offer here, there is a standard edition of the game for €59 that contains standees, and a special edition of the game for €95 that contains 29 miniatures. The contents of these 2 pledges will be further expanded with the content found in the stretch goals box. In my opinion, this additional free-ish content is what makes backing the core pledge immediately worth it. Any other add-ons may make it more difficult to recoup your money if the game isn't for you. As regular viewers of my channel may already know, I am definitely backing the version of the game that contains the 29 miniatures. Miniature painting is a hobby of mine in and of itself, so the addition of miniatures here just adds to the value of the game for me. Because of my excitement for this game, I am looking at 2 other add-ons. The first one is the Terrain expansion. I feel pretty comfortable with this add-on, even though I do feel that it's a little overpriced, coming in at $56 US. I like this expansion because much of this terrain can be used for other games as well. Those Rift miniatures would make fantastic summoning gates for Cthulhu Death May Die, and there's even enough of them to use with the Yog-Sothoth Great Old One. The other add-on that I'm looking at is the neoprene mat set. I am a sucker for neoprene mats, especially if a game requires me to pick up a single card directly off of a cardboard surface. However, this is something that I normally only upgrade after I know that I love the game. Quality of life upgrades like this are harder to get rid of if you end up not enjoying the game. Even though this game seems like a good fit for me, it doesn't mean that it will be a keeper. As mentioned earlier, I think that the designer's work is a perfect fit for my style. However, even Holik's most iconic work, SETI, I rated a 3 out of 5, and it's not something that I decided to add to my collection. I'm excited by the design philosophy of this creator, but that does not guarantee that I'm going to love all of his games. And since we're back on the subject of the designer, I also found his influences for this game to be quite intriguing. While I've already made the thematic connection to Legacy of Kain Soul Reaver video game, the game designer cites two other of my favorite survival horror video games as his inspiration for this game setting, namely Silent Hill and Resident Evil. It's going to be exciting to see how this theme and mechanical gameplay come together in the mind of a strategic Euro game designer. I cannot wait. One more thing that I would like to touch on, since this is a miniature painting channel, is that the publisher is also offering fully painted miniatures for this game. First, I'd like to commend Awakened Realms for showing a very realistic representation of the miniatures that you can expect to receive if you choose this additional product. This level of quality is very doable in a mass production setting. It appears that the technique used is a base shade highlight approach to speed painting. This yields great results in a reasonable amount of time. I also think that this style of painting is something that even beginner miniature painters can achieve for themselves. But if you have absolutely no interest in miniature painting, then these look like an excellent way to go, especially if you consider that the price is only around €75. Finally, shipping to the US for the special edition is €26. So that puts the total cost for the core special edition pledge with shipping at around $140. There is a note that this does not include any additional funds for US tariffs. However, this campaign is covered by GameFound's Stable Pledge program. This means that if the cost of your core special edition pledge increases by $12 or more, you'll have the option to receive a 100% refund from Awakened Realms. This is a feature that keeps me coming back to GameFound. Let me know in the comments if this is a game that you're interested in as well. Also, let me know if you think that this is a game that I should steer clear of. I'd like to thank my amazing channel members for supporting all that I do on this channel. You too can become a channel member for as little as $1.99 per month and receive perks such as early access to videos, extended versions of all of our painting tutorials, and even a tier that lets you decide which miniature I paint next. Thank you so much for watching. Please hit the like button and subscribe to the channel to join our growing community of elite paranormal agents.